let's move on to our next video. Why Otto? Actually, hold on. I want to see those comments. I want to see those comments, bro. What they got to say about this nigga. Anytime I start feeling depressed or like my life is in shambles, I watch EWU body cam and I suddenly realize that my life isn't that bad, actually. Oh my God. W comment. I like that. I think that's enough. Next video. Why Otto Warmbier didn't survive North Korea. Oh shit, bro. This is a heavy video. Because I've always wanted to know more about the Otto Warmbier story and like what actually happened to him. I remember back then when it was going off, and like I didn't think too much into it because I was a kid. But hearing stories and reading into it, he was treated crazy. That nigga went through it, and the fact that we have footage of him not being there, like mentally, when he was literally just fine a few days or a few weeks prior, they're doing something crazy. Oh shit! I almost spoiled the video. All right, let's get it.
This is Otto Warmbier.
Warmbier. Like warm beer, but warm beer. Got you.
21-year-old American college student.
My crime is very severe and pre-planned. I regret my actions more than
Actually,
2 months ago, he went on a New Year's party tour with a travel agency. The destination was Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea.
damn.
On the early morning of January 1st, 2016, I committed my crime aimed at harming the work ethic and the motivation of the Korean people.
After a night of partying, he allegedly took a poster from the hallway of his hotel. Shortly after, he was detained for perpetrating a...
And that one act ended your life. That one act gave you the end of your life, bro. I don't know how long he was in that jail. If he was in there for years, I think it was a short time span where they tortured him and killed him. But that one act of taking that one poster really just ruined your entire life. That's fucking insane.
hostile act against the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
I understand the severity of my crime.
Now he's here, trying to save his life, at the mercy of a totalitarian dictatorship.
I have been very impressed by the Korean government's humanitarian treatment of severe criminals like myself, and of their very fair and square legal procedures in the DPR Korea.
A communist regime that nurtures a deep hate for America.
The United States administration already knows about my act through the CIA and connived at my crime.
Soon, the case of this college kid will escalate the already tense relationship between two nuclear powers.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States.
Wait a minute. This happened when Trump was in office? I don't remember this happening when Trump was in office. No way this happened. This happened when Trump was in office? Wow.
They will be met with fire and fury.
Otto Warmbier, at this point, has no idea what he is about to face.
An American is being held captive in North Korea. He was sentenced to 21 years of hard labor.
Those prisons are rough places. If something very bad happened to them.
Americans' fateful trip to North Korea.
Complete failure to recognize fundamental human rights.
The dreams of a young man destroyed by...
Wait. So this happened. This happened while Trump was in office. They killed this nigga. And even after they killed this nigga Trump visits North Korea and tries to be cool with Kim Jong-un? What the fuck?
Previous charges from a ruthless regime.
This very press conference might be his last chance to save his life.
I am the oldest son in my family. My mother needs me. My father needs me. My younger brother and my younger sister need me. I entirely beg you, people and government of the DPR Korea, for your forgiveness. Please, I have made the worst mistake of my life.
Otto Warmbier won't survive, and his case will bring the US and North Korea to the brink of war. But the version of events many people remember might not be true. Much of our research is based on this extensive GQ article. Find the link in the description.
Okay.
New Year's Eve, 2015. This is Kim Il-sung Square in Pyongyang. Thousands of North Koreans have gathered to watch the fireworks and greet the new year. Among them is a group of tourists. These are people from Europe, Canada, Australia, and the US.
Right.
They're here with a travel agency, and they booked a 5-day, 4-night New Year's party tour for $1,200.
Okay.
Otto Warmbier is one of them. Now, after the fireworks, they return to their hotel, a 47-story tower.
Now, this low-key makes me worried about using like travel agencies and like other agencies where you can just travel for like a set cost. Because if shit like this could happen, and I also did plan on using a travel agency to go international. If shit like this could happen, bro, what else could happen? What else could happen? I'm pretty sure like anything could happen when you're using a travel agency now. Like there's no safety. I don't see any safety for anybody using travel agencies.
Located on a small island in the Taedong River. It boasts 5 restaurants, a bar, a sauna, a massage parlor, even a bowling alley. One of the restaurants revolves. Because of its location, people call it the Alcatraz of fun. During the tour, they'll drink at a fancy bar and eat at fine restaurants. And, on top, they get the full propaganda tour. They've already visited the 70-foot bronze statues of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, the country's first 2 dictators. They're regarded as near holy figures. State propaganda has it that when Kim Jong-il was born at the site of a holy mountain, a double rainbow and a glowing new star appeared in the sky. Today, his birthday, the Day of the Shining Star, is a public holiday. Citizens spontaneously salute the massive statues, but it's impossible to say whether it's real reverence or mandatory homage. Propaganda is everywhere. Billboards show images of missiles striking the US Capitol.
Oh, shit.
Other posters sport slogans like, "Let's arm ourselves strongly with Kim Jong-il's patriotism."
Oh shit. And he thought it was a good idea to take one of these propaganda ass posters and bring it to the US, gang. Shit.
Respecting the communist dynasty can get you in big trouble. According to GQ, the Database Center for North Korean Human Rights confirmed a case of a factory janitor being prosecuted for bumping such a picture off the wall so that it fell and broke. Otto and the other tour members need to be careful. One wrong move, and they could face harsh punishment.
Oh.
Otto was raised in a suburb outside Cincinnati, Ohio, the oldest of 3 siblings. In high school, he was popular, athletic, and smart. At both prom and homecoming, he was crowned king. Speaking at his high school graduation, he quoted Andy Bernard from The Office.
"I wish there was a way to know that you're in the good old days before you've actually left them."
Now, he's majoring in finance.
Wow.
Halfway through his junior year, he decides to do a winter break adventure to North Korea. It makes sense.
Bro, why North Korea, bro? Out of all places you could go, you went to the one place that hates America, dude.
He'll be studying abroad in Hong Kong in the spring. In 2015, the State Department's travel advisory for North Korea is clear. It recommends against Americans traveling there at all. On the other hand, the website of Young Pioneer Tours, Otto Warmbier's travel agency, said that traveling to North Korea was, quote, extremely safe.
Oh my god, bro. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, nigga. Niggas is lying to you just to get money, bro.
Your mother would rather you stay away from. His parents had their concerns. But, as Cindy Warmbier later said, why would you say no to a kid like this? Early in the tour, the group is visiting this ship, the USS Pueblo. The North Korean military captured it in 1968. The North Koreans claimed it had entered their territorial waters. Now, it's a tourist attraction.
Wow.
When the North Korean tour guide explains that
these niggas are making... they're making martyrs out of fucking small victories against the U.S. That's how much they hate us, bro.
Was seized from the United States, he doesn't say the United States. He says the imperial enemy.
Wow.
Between 1950 and 1953, the U.S. dropped an estimated 635,000 tons of bombs on the country, plus some 32,000 tons of napalm. Major cities were obliterated. 75% of Pyongyang was destroyed. During the war, as many as 1 million civilians perished. In 1953, a ceasefire ended combat in the Korean War, but a peace agreement was never signed. Technically, the North is still at war with the South, and with its ally, the US. Most Americans are unaware of this war, so much so that the Korean War is often referred to as the Forgotten War.
Nah, that's crazy.
In North Korea. The North Korean tour guide explains what happened.
It's wild because I don't even remember learning about the Forgotten War. Like, why is it so forgettable?
Back then to the 82 American sailors that were captured along with the ship. They were beaten, starved, and only released after 11 months. Otto Warmbier is not visiting just any country. He's in enemy territory. Danny Grattan, his roommate during the tour, will later recount that Otto seemed a little bit shocked. To lighten the mood, he and the other tour members give Otto a nickname, Imperial Enemy.
Wait,
the rest of the tour goes smoothly. Sightseeing during the day, restaurants and bars at night. They even engage with the local kids by having a friendly snowball fight. One of the reasons people travel is to understand the world a little better. Brilliant does that for learning.
Get the fuck out of here.
Brilliant, 11 court action, brilliant and off works.
WAD.
Back to January 1st, after the fireworks. When the tour group returns to the Yanggokdo Hotel, they split up. Some go to the bar. Danny Grattan heads to the bowling alley. They lose track of Otto. When Danny gets to his room, around 4:30 a.m., Otto is in bed, sound asleep.
Okay.
Then, a day and a half later, the group is ready to get on the plane. It's time to go home.
Okay.
As the last members of the group, Danny's and Otto's passports are checked.
All right.
The officers take an unusually long time to scan their documents.
Right.
Then Otto feels a sudden tap on his shoulder. There are 2 North Korean soldiers behind him. They lead him away.
Shit.
Danny doesn't think much of it and jokes, "Well, that's the last we'll ever see of you."
This nigga Danny set this nigga up. This nigga Danny set this nigga up, bro. Starting off with the Imperial Enemy fucking joking nickname. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You know what they mean by when they say that shit. And then you're gonna say, you're gonna joke around as if I didn't just get picked up by 2 Korean soldiers in the airport and walked off? Fuck you, buddy.
2.5 months later, Otto is standing trial in North Korea's Supreme Court. He's accused of violating Article 60 of the DPRK Criminal Code, state subversion. The central piece of evidence is this CCTV footage.
Man.
It's time-stamped. The early hours of New Year's Day, 2016. It shows a staff-only area in the Yanggokdo Hotel. A shadowy figure removes a poster from the wall and appears to set it on the ground. The poster looked like this, a propaganda poster, and it contained the Supreme Leader's name, Let's arm ourselves strongly with Kim Jong-il's patriotism. To remove it from the wall is a serious crime, a bid to impair the unity of North Korea's people.
Wait, so he didn't try to steal it? He put it on the... You disrespected it by putting it on the ground, bro. Why would you do such a dumbass thing? Why are you even touching shit, dude? Oh my god.
And that shadowy figure? According to the prosecutors, that is Otto Warmbier. The trial only lasts an hour. Warmbier,
I don't know.
According...
Is that... I mean, it's possible.
To the prosecutors, that is Otto Warmbier. The trial only lasts an hour. The young pioneer's North Korean tour guide testifies against Otto. A second witness takes the stand, an employee who says they noticed the poster had been taken from the wall. Otto's belongings are presented as evidence. And fingerprints are shown on a flat-screen TV. But most of the supposed evidence came from Otto's confession 2 weeks earlier. Here, he goes into the details.
On January 1st, 2016, New Year's Day, I committed severe crimes against both the people and the government of the DPR Korea.
Oh, shit.
The task was given by the Friendship United Methodist Church. At the encouragement of the Z Society.
Wait, what?
And the connivance of the United States administration.
Wow.
I aim to commit this crime task.
The full story goes like this. His friend's mother, a deaconess at the Friendship Methodist Church in his hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio, instructed him to deal a blow to North Korea by stealing an important political slogan to be hung in her church as a trophy.
What?
As a reward, he'd receive a used car worth $10,000.
Bro.
Were he to be detained, the church would pay his family $200,000.
The aim of this crime was to harm the work ethic.
These niggas are that conniving that they are coming up with a complete story, a complete malarkey ass fucking story to get this nigga locked up and then get him to admit to their bullshit ass story, gang. What?
Motivation of the Korean people.
He told his
That's how much they hate America.
mother about his plans.
She cried and said not to do anything dangerous. I considered less, not wanting to hurt my mother. But since then, I received several alluring pressures from the Friendship United Methodist Church.
What?
Leading me to finally decide on my crime attempt.
He then shared his plans with a member of the Z Society, a secret society at the University of Virginia that Otto wanted to join. He'd heard all of its members go on to get high-paying jobs.
He promised if I was successful, he would help me gain membership in the Z Society.
Finally, he decided to do it.
After I planned in detail to accomplish my plan, I arrived in Pyongyang on December 29th, 2015, through Beijing. On the early morning of January 1st, 2016.
Gang, I don't know if I would be like, even with the gun to a nigga's head, bro, it's like, you saying all this, you're going along with their plans, bro. And they're gonna kill, like, just knowing that they kill this nigga anyway, it's like, nah, bro. You were better off. You're better off just expose, like saying what you gotta say at that meeting. Like, nigga, I'm going through it. These niggas is torturing me, bro. Like, I did not commit this crime. I have them pull you off. Have them pull you off the stand. Fuck it, nigga. As long as your message gets across.
I committed my crime of taking out the important political slogan from the staff-only area of the Yangakdo International Hotel, aimed at harming the work ethic and the motivation of the Korean people.
And he explains, the plot goes all the way to the top.
The United States administration already knows about my act through the CIA, which is closely linked to the Z Society, and connived at my crime.
The church, too, is linked to the government.
The Friendship United Methodist Church is not a typical church. It is very wealthy with $42
Damn,
million.
bro.
That is why
He thought saying all this shit would save his life.
the United States administration has very close ties with this church.
He was manipulated, plain and simple.
I was clearly given the task by the Friendship United Methodist Church. I was
Is that a fucking black man? What the fuck is a black man doing in North Korea? In court? What the fuck?
encouraged by the Z Society.
Nigga, help me!
My crime is very severe and pre-planned. I regret my actions more than anything. I beg for forgiveness, and I beg for help in any way possible to save my life.
Damn, bro.
왕비어의 발언이 끝났습니다. 들으신 바와 같이 미 행정부는 우리 공화국을 반대하는 정말 더러운 행위를 감행하고 있습니다.
Wow.
Experts agree that Otto Warmbier's confession seemed quite obviously coerced and staged. North Korea has a history of coercing confessions, and the US accused North Korea of broadcasting this one for propaganda purposes. A member of the Z Society said Otto had never approached them and denied any affiliation with the CIA. And the senior pastor at Friendship United Methodist Church said he didn't know of the deaconess mentioned by Otto. But this is later. After it's too late. Now, standing before the Supreme Court, all Otto can do is beg.
I was used and manipulated. Please.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
My life.
And then some of these niggas probably don't even understand English. So having the translator, who's also probably being paid to make this nigga look bad and not even say what the fuck he's actually saying, having a translator who you don't even know is saying what you want to say is like, bro, they set this nigga up, bro. They completely set this nigga the fuck up, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't him in the video.
But his pleas fall on deaf ears. He's handcuffed and led from the room. He's been sentenced to 15 years of hard labor.
Wow.
2 days later, on March 18, the Korean Central News Agency released the CCTV footage to the public. Western news outlets treat the footage with suspicion. That figure could be anyone. One story notes that the corridor is well lit, something that, in a country where electricity is scarce, is far from the norm for staff-only spaces. Some of his tour mates give interviews. One of them, Sarah McLaughlin, says there was an issue with the time shown in the video.
Your group had been out at a New Year's Eve party in the hours before that. Were you even back at the hotel then?
No, the time didn't match up at all.
According to her, the young pioneers didn't return to the hotel until
these niggas really lied, bro. These niggas came up with a complete story to get this nigga killed? Nah.
Until around 3 a.m., more than an hour after the footage was allegedly captured. Another tour mate says in an interview with the BBC that Otto was careful to observe the rules. They'd been told not to take pictures of military staff or installations, and he'd been nervous when taking a photo with military personnel in the background.
Men for mig giver det simpelthen ikke mening, at den samme fyr, som stod og var...
Same guy, okay, hold on. What?
Men for mig giver det
For me, it doesn't make sense. That's the same guy who was nervous about taking this one picture, which was maybe on the edge of what we were allowed. And an almost totally different being running off, trying to steal a banner. Fuck you. You know what's funny? I was gonna fucking reset this camera before I started this video, and I should have. Next time I gotta stick to my gut.
Og bare jorde op fuld og forvandle sig til et helt andet menneske nærmest. Og så bare jorde op og prøve at stjæle et banner.
Trying to steal a banner.
His roommate, Danny Grattan, also doubts that it was Otto.
We never mentioned anything remotely like that. We'd already bought some souvenirs. In my heart of hearts, the guy I knew for 3 or 4 days was not that type of guy.
Everything about the whole story was fabricated, in my opinion.
Wow, though.
Otto's parents, Fred and Cindy, turned to the Obama administration for help, but the Warmbiers later said they were advised to keep quiet. According to GQ, Robert King, the special envoy for North Korean human rights issues, warned that drawing media attention to the ordeal might anger the regime. What makes it even more complicated is that the United States has never had a formal diplomatic relationship with North Korea. There is no U.S. embassy in Pyongyang. The Swedish ambassador serves as the liaison for Americans, but the Swedes' calls and emails are met with silence.
Wow.
The days turn to weeks.
So this happened during okay. I had a feeling this didn't happen during the Trump administration.
Turn to months. Efforts at back-channel diplomacy are stymied. The issue is passed from one administration to the next. No one knows.
Wait, what? Wait. It did happen. Oh my God, because this happened in 2016, right?
Where Otto is, what he's doing, or how he's being treated. Then, in early June 2017, some 17 months after his detention, the news finally arrives. Otto is unconscious.
Huh?
An extraction team of doctors and diplomats is put together. And finally,
Let me start by saying that I'm glad Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and I, along with a very talented team, were able
to get
Otto Warmbier back with his parents.
Otto Warmbier is returned to U.S. soil on June 13.
We're thrilled that our son is on American soil, and I'm able to talk to you on Otto's behalf, and I'm able to wear the jacket that he wore when he gave his confession. Otto, I love you, and I'm so crazy about you. Last night, being able to see Otto for the first time in, gosh, I bet it's 18 months, it was fantastic. Otto's not in great shape right now, and he's been through a real tough time, and it's great to have him with us, and I'm very proud of him.
I wonder what they did to
Otto
this
is home,
nigga.
but he's changed tremendously. When Cindy and Fred met Otto at the airport, they were shocked.
We walked over to the plane. We heard this howling, involuntary, inhuman sound. Otto was on the stretcher across in the plane, and he was jerking violently, making these inhuman sounds. Otto had a shaved head. He had a feeding tube coming out of his nose. He was blind. He was deaf.
He was taken to the
He was what?
City of Cincinnati Medical Center's Neuroscience Intensive Care Unit, where extensive imaging and diagnostic tests immediately began.
His vital signs were stable upon arrival and have remained so.
He doesn't need
These
help.
niggas blind. So they returned him and made it so that he couldn't see or hear his family when he got back. That is beyond demonic.
Breathing, no signs of infection, no dysfunction of non-neurological organs. His neurological condition, though, is described as unresponsive wakefulness, what used to be called a vegetative state. He blinks, sometimes his eyes open, but he isn't aware of his surroundings.
Wow.
He doesn't respond to verbal commands. He doesn't speak. Sometimes he moves, but his motions aren't intentional. His arms and legs are extremely weak.
Well, we thought he was in a coma, but you couldn't call it a coma.
The Warmbiers remain at his bedside as the tests are conducted.
Our image of Otto, as you know, was of someone just wonderful, beautiful inside and out, and to see how he came home was too much for us. But I almost passed out, but I got it together and I rode in the ambulance with him because I did not want him to be alone anymore. He'd been alone for way too long.
Oh man,
He's surrounded by his loved ones, but his condition soon worsens. He develops a high fever, 40 degrees Celsius. Fred and Cindy Warmbier are told that he'll never wake up. and they asked to have his feeding tube removed. 6 days after his release, Otto is dead.
Yo.
The news travels across the world.
The family of Otto Warmbier has said goodbye.
Trauer und Entsetzen nach dem Tod des Studenten Otto Warmbier.
Otto Warmbier скончался после возвращения из тюрьмы в Северной Корее.
Otto Warmbier murió pocos días después de ser
That's insane. These niggas, they had to. I don't even know. Like, what could you do to a human for them to not have any organ damage, any physical damage, but complete neurological fucking damage, bro? Like, and then on top of that, you blind him and you make him deaf. How do you do, like, what the fuck? That's like some real evil scientist ass procedure.
The American student who fell into a coma while in North Korean custody and has died.
Yo, that's wild.
On June 22, in Wyoming, Ohio, more than 2,500 people attend his funeral.
Wow.
The condition in which Otto Warmbier came back to the U.S. and his subsequent death are discussed nationwide. He left the United States in good health. He returned on the brink of death.
Wow.
Do you know what happened to him in North Korea?
I don't.
Content note: the following chapter discusses suicide. Viewer discretion is advised. Upon his release, North Korea gave an explanation for Otto's state.
Right.
They said he contracted botulism, a rare and severe kind of food poisoning, after eating a meal of spinach and pork. After he fell ill, they gave him a sleeping pill, to which he had some sort of unexpected reaction, which sent him into a state of unresponsive wakefulness. The U.S. medical experts are quick to dispute this story. 3 doctors, experts in neurology, ran tests on Otto while he was still alive. At the request of the family, they hold a press conference to give their opinions.
These niggas are saying that they gave him a sleeping pill which made him deaf and blind. Bro, it doesn't get more ridiculous than that, bro.
Tests did not reveal any evidence of active or chronic denervation, nor any repetitive stimulation that would suggest active botulism at this time.
The North Koreans, it seems, are lying, and the Warmbiers have a different story.
Obviously.
They tortured him. They intentionally injured him. It looked like someone had taken a pair of pliers and rearranged his bottom teeth. He had a large scar on his right foot.
They destroyed him.
They purposely and intentionally injured Otto.
On September 25, 2017, Fred and Cindy Warmbier gave an interview on Fox.
Nigga, rearranging someone's teeth with, bro. What? What?
Fox and Friends. Trump apparently watched. This becomes the narrative. Physical torture. And, as a consequence, brain damage. But soon, serious doubts emerge. Let's go through his injuries one by one.
Okay.
First, there was a noticeable scar on Otto's right foot.
Right.
This is Dr. Lakshmi Samarko, the coroner selected to conduct an external autopsy. Fred Warmbier had noticed the scar, but had Dr. Samarko?
Physically, as far as wounds, there were a few small scars that we documented. There was one that we really couldn't explain for medical instrumentation, which some of the other scars we could. But there wasn't anything on the external examination to indicate, other than that one scar that we couldn't explain, to indicate torture.
The Warmbiers opted against a complete autopsy, offering no reason for this decision. But Dr. Samarko did perform an external inspection. Later, in a lawsuit against North Korea, an expert witness cited the scar on Otto's foot as potential evidence that he was subjected to torture, possibly electric shock.
Whoa.
But does this injury prove Otto was tortured? No. Then there are his teeth. Fred Warmbier said it looked as though Otto's bottom teeth had been rearranged. Dr. Samarko couldn't confirm this.
Damn, bitch, what can you confirm, ho? The fuck?
Our forensic dentist, Dr. Wright, and I had him take a look at the imaging, specifically dealing with the lower teeth and mandible. he agreed with us that there is no evidence of trauma to the lower teeth or mandible.
In the lawsuit, this finding was disputed.
What?
Two of Otto's private dentists testified that his post-mortem dental x-rays, when compared to previous x-rays, indicated that some of his lower teeth had been bent backward, movement consistent with an impact injury. The New York Times had reported that Otto had been repeatedly beaten. That's not impossible.
Whoa.
An ex-North Korean spy who was familiar with, though not directly involved in Otto's case, said he'd heard Otto was roughed up by prison guards.
I heard that he got beaten up by a lot by the guards. They hit him because he couldn't communicate with
He
them.
also continues to say that there might have been waterboarding. To him, that's standard practice, what he'd call battery rather than torture. It's
Wow.
difficult to say whether this ex-spy is credible, though. And even if Otto's teeth were bent backward, it's impossible to know for certain what caused that. Finally, the biggest injury of all, his brain injury.
The most important diagnostic test thus far was a magnetic resonance imaging scan of the brain. This study showed extensive loss of brain tissue in all regions of the brain.
Whoa.
In other words, the damage is universal, and scans show it occurred all at once. There's a technical term for this, an anoxic encephalopathy. It means an injury caused by a lack of oxygen to the brain. So either blood ceased to flow to Otto's brain, which would result in a lack of oxygen, or Otto stopped breathing.
This pattern of brain injury, however, is usually seen as a result of cardiopulmonary arrest, where the blood supply to the brain is inadequate for a period of time, resulting in the death of brain tissue.
In general terms, one of the more likely causes of a cardiopulmonary arrest in a young person would have been a respiratory arrest.
In all likelihood, Otto stopped breathing. Any number of events could have caused this: an allergic reaction, choking, near drowning, anything that might prevent oxygen from reaching his brain. But which of these events was the cause?
Right.
There's no way to know.
Oh my God.
We have no certain or verifiable knowledge of the cause or circumstances of his neurological injury.
A cause that could almost certainly be ruled out was repeated beatings. Repeated beatings to the head would have caused asymmetrical damage, with some regions being affected more than others. Also, scans revealed no fractures of the skull.
Right.
Despite all this uncertainty, the Warmbiers insist on torture. And the question of whether Otto was tortured or not is not a medical side note. By now, it has the potential to escalate a simmering conflict between two nuclear powers.
I don't know. If we went to war with North Korea, obviously we would, do some damage, but I feel like they would do some damage as well, gang.
Before, mere days after Otto's detention, North Korea had carried out its fourth nuclear test in defiance of international sanctions. It also launched a long-range missile. In September 2016, it performed another nuclear test. By 2017, the year of Otto's return, the confrontation between the US and North Korea was near the boiling point.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
It was the beginning of the 2017-2018 North Korea crisis. Meanwhile, Otto Warmbier's case took on an increased political...
Yeah, during that time, I really thought that we were going to be at war, bro, with these niggas. I thought that was going to be the start of World War III, bro.
Wait. Trump had adopted the torture hypothesis as fact. Senator John McCain said Otto had been tortured and murdered. Senators Adam Schiff and Marco Rubio also used the word murder. Fred Warmbier's analysis was that his son served as a sort of human shield.
North Korea doesn't do anything by mistake. It was their fourth nuclear weapons test, and they had a lot of things they wanted to cover, and they felt like Otto was going to provide them the security they needed to get away with these things.
Then, in 2018, Michael Flukinger, the doctor that helped bring Otto back to the US, revealed a new piece of information to GQ.
Wait. What? Is he a Korean doctor?
Then, In 2018, Michael Flukinger, the doctor that helped bring Otto back to the US, revealed a new piece of information to GQ.
Okay.
The staff at the North Korean hospital where Otto stayed told Flukinger that they received him the day after his trial, and he was already unresponsive. They had to resuscitate him, then give him oxygen and put him on a ventilator, or he would die, Flukinger told GQ. Also, there's a brain scan dated April 2016.
We received copies of brain MRI images from
which could be fucking faked, by the way.
The medical personnel in North Korea. The earliest images are dated April 2016. Based upon our analysis of those images, the brain injury likely occurred in the preceding weeks.
Of course, the North Korean story might be a lie. It might not be true that he was hospitalized the morning after his trial.
Right.
But there is strong medical evidence that he sustained his brain injury in the days or weeks after March 16. In any case, Otto Warmbier was sentenced to 15 years of hard labor. But it's very unlikely that he was actually sent to one of the notoriously horrific North Korean labor camps. American detainees are treated differently. According to GQ, Otto Warmbier most likely stayed in a used guest house in downtown Pyongyang during his detention.
Okay.
The hard labor he was sentenced to would likely have been planting soybeans and making bricks. Grueling, backbreaking work, but nothing compared to coal mining, which is typical for North Koreans. North Korea needed him as a bargaining chip, and bargaining chips don't have much value if they aren't in good condition.
Right.
And in a sense, he was.
We believe that for somebody who's been bedridden for more than a
year. Do niggas think that he did it to himself? To stop being used as a motherfucking bargaining token?
Year, that his body was in excellent condition, his skin was in excellent condition, and we didn't see any evidence of decubiti or bed sores.
In its article, GQ proposes a different theory than torture. During the 2 months between his detention and his confession, Otto was likely subjected to relentless interrogation for as long as 15 hours per day. The only respite from the interrogation would have been North Korean propaganda films. Previous prisoners were told their government had forgotten them. Some fell into debilitating depressions, even attempting suicide.
Right.
At trial, so hours, weeks, or days before he supposedly fell into a coma, he was visibly desperate.
Please think of my family. Give me the oldest son in my family.
GQ speculates that in the hopeless hours after his sentencing, Otto may have attempted to take his own life.
Right.
A lack of oxygen to his brain could have caused his injury. Of course, this theory is just one of many.
Now, that theory right there seems like a very plausible theory. Like, he probably tried to hang himself. They didn't like that. They caught him in time to save his life, resuscitate him, and then send him back.
Reaction to a sleeping pill, an excessive administration of drugs, a suicide attempt, a heart attack, a form of torture that left no obvious lasting marks. It could have been any of these things.
Right.
Without Otto here to tell the tale, we may never know the truth.
Damn, dude.
In May 2018, something weird happened. Trump tweeted that he was going to meet Kim Jong-un in person.
Right, like this nigga becomes cool with Kim Jong-un right after this happens, gang. Like, what the fuck kind of president, dude?
Trump changed.
Getting a good picture, everybody, so we look nice and handsome and thin.
After the Singapore summit, Otto's name all but disappeared from Trump's lips, replaced by the name of Kim Jong-un.
Wow.
And then we fell in love, okay? No, really. He wrote me beautiful letters, and they're great letters. We fell in love.
The previous year, Trump tweeted that he tried so hard to be Kim's friend and referred to their relationship as
It's a very special relationship.
In 2019, when asked whether he thought Kim knew about Otto's case, his reply was startling.
I don't believe he knew about it.
What?
The Warmbiers were outraged. Trump had helped them bring Otto home and relisted Kim Jong-un's country as a state sponsor of terrorism.
Right.
Now he seems to admire him?
Completely flipping the script. Like, what the fuck?
Well, he is very talented. Anybody that takes over a situation like he did at 26 years of age and is able to run it and run it tough. Very few people at that age, you can take 1 out of 10,000 probably couldn't do it.
Otto Warmbier was many things. An all-American boy, an unlucky tourist.
That's
a loving
crazy.
son. But on the international stage, he was a pawn and a symbol. Pyongyang deployed Otto on the chessboard of politics, using him domestically as a mouthpiece to spread anti-American propaganda, and internationally as a bargaining chip, a hostage to be traded for the easing of sanctions or other U.S. concessions.
Wow,
For the Trump
dude.
administration, Otto Warmbier was useful as a symbol, driving the narrative that he was tortured by a barbarous regime and possibly using his death as a means of psychologically preparing the American public for war, the threat of which Trump hoped would make Kim back down. Otto was sentenced to 15 years hard labor for an alleged crime that in most countries would be considered, at worst, vandalism, based on a sham trial. No matter what happened to him, that in itself is damning enough.
Literally.
And even if he likely never had to go to one of North Korea's prison camps, they are hell on earth. Uncertainty about his cause of death shouldn't distract from the exceptional brutality and cruelty of Kim Jong-un's regime.
Yeah, that's wild, bro. W video. W fucking video, gang. W video, gang. W video.